Husband chatting with chem girls. Did he cross a line? My husband, male 33, and I, female 29, have been together in a closed monogamous relationship for over 5 years now, and I just found out he's an exhibitionist. I had accidentally deleted some photos on my phone, and asked to borrow his to send myself some normal request, and strong winds blew me over to deleted photos where I found a deleted video of himself jerking off. I thought this was concerning because why take the video unless you're posting somewhere? I truly do not believe he's messaging these to someone, and there were 2 laptops in the video. Why take the video? Why is there a hidden laptop? I didn't say anything at the time, and instead my anxiety got the best of me, and I went into the search history of the one laptop I know about. The login for a popular chem website was saved, so I clicked it. Dude is an avid cammer. Broadcasts himself on the weekly, and has a monthly membership. I'm mainly struggling with 1. This is the first I'm learning about this side of him. Why didn't he feel comfortable sharing it with me prior? To be honest, it's kinda hot, and I'd even participate. But I don't know how to bring that up. He turned me down when I asked to watch lewd content together. I just feel left out. Is there a good way for me to bring up being included somehow? 2. Private cam to cam saved videos with girls. Watching lewd is one thing, but direct interactions and chats while you pay for her to get you off is another. 3. From the brief search I did, the most active days, weeks were ones that I was asking for more X at home. I'd explain that I wanted it more frequently and try to entice him, and get denied. But from the history it looks like he was still hitting the cam site. I know I was in the wrong, but I genuinely was confused and concerned about the deleted video. I plan on talking to him. I see the irony in me feeling like he crossed a boundary, but I violated his autonomy as well. I plan to bring this up as a convo about boundaries with specific examples and slide private videos with chem girls. I'm sure he sees it as normal, and within the parameters of our relationship. Plus I doubt there's much thought he put into logging on other than knowing these people are getting off on him getting off. But I'm just not comfortable with certain aspects of this. I know lewd content is super common. But how common are cam to cam sessions? Would you guys classify this as watching lewd content, or do you agree it's crossing a boundary? Any suggestions on how to open communication, and ask how to join in the fun live sessions together? Too long didn't read. Husband is into exhibitionism and voyeurism, and has kept it to himself. Would you consider private broadcasts to other women on cam sites cheating? This would be considered cheating in my marriage. Not only was he carrying on solely with others, he was paying for it, and not disclosing that. That's definitely not okay. Do not let him flip this to be about you violating his privacy. He is the only one that did anything wrong here. Also, after infidelity, it's very common to give full and complete access to devices to prove you are no longer cheating. No, I was in the wrong for looking. I still want him to trust me, and for me to trust him. I feel like this is a gray area, and I just want to ensure he knows he can't keep doing it if he wants to be with me. That's like saying, my husband ducked a woman in our bedroom, but it's my fault for walking in on it. Seriously? No. He went behind your back and started talking to women. He shouldn't have. There is no excuses. Sorry, but privacy doesn't trump cheating. This is 100% cheating to me, and would not be tolerated. Hey there. I am a chem girl and online ex-worker. But I do not do one-on-one sessions with others because my husband considers that as cheating. Before I started this, after we were married, we talked about it and all the details. My husband even follows my fan pages and sees the content I post regularly. I don't think this is okay. You didn't get to consent to your husband being undressed online, which honestly will get leaked eventually. That's the nature of these things, which could affect your jobs, family, friends, and everyone around you. If you're not willing for everyone to find out about this, you need to talk to him and address it quickly so you two can work on keeping it private. Yes, girl. I appreciate your insight. And I agree, I'm struggling with the fact that I didn't consent to this. But in his defense, we didn't discuss any details prior because I'm pretty sure he's been doing this prior to us even meeting. I think for him he loves the risk, and that makes everything so much more thrilling for him. But for him and his work it would be a huge risk, to be honest. I found out how to search for videos, and I found stills of his old broadcasts. He doesn't show his face. But I agree that it's highly probable a screenshot or video could surface, and we need to be on the same page. Again, I feel so left out in his actions, and I think that's why I'm hurt. But in his defense, we didn't discuss any details prior because I'm pretty sure he's been doing this prior to us even meeting. This is definitely something you disclose when you get serious and move in with someone. And especially when you marry them. Any sexual or romantic activities performed outside the bounds of a monogamous relationship should be disclosed. There is zero excuse for this. It isn't everything is okay until you specifically state it's not, because that would be absurd. Do you have to verbally declare every single boundary you might not even know you have before you're certain someone won't cheat on you? No. Absolutely not. This is cheating. He knows it. And he's keeping it from you on purpose. Again, I feel so left out in his actions, and I think that's why I'm hurt. I think you're hurt because he's been lying by omission for years and denying you X while fulfilling his little kinks on the side with other women. There is no invasion of privacy that could compare to years of cheating. I would be furious if I were you. Because to me, monogamous means faithful. If it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. If your husband sends private videos of himself to other women or men, or non-binary people, it doesn't matter. It's cheating. Second story. I found out my 26 male girlfriend, 26 female, was a chem girl throughout college, and it's really bothering me, and she's making me feel like I'm sexist. How do I convince her I'm not and get over this? I've been with my girlfriend for 4 years in January, and things have been perfect up until now. Before anyone suggests it, I'm not going to end a 4-year relationship with someone I love over this. I knew her in college, but we really didn't associate. She was a sorority girl, and I was an athlete and a computer science nerd and vehemently hated fraternity and sorority people. She slid into my DMs, and the rest is history. We've been experimenting in bed lately, and one of the things she wants to do is make a X tape with me. I'm not really open to this. And from talking about it, I was able to pick up that she's recorded X acts before. I asked if she had, and she told me that she didn't make a X tape with any of her boyfriends, but she did do chem work from ages 18 to 21 as a side job. I was shocked. Like legitimately blown away that she did this. It made me uncomfortable. I changed the subject and tried to forget about it, but it kept eating at me. I felt like not knowing the details of what she did was so much worse. My absolute worst fear was that there were videos of her ducking a bunch of other guys just going around. If that was the case, I probably would have ended the relationship. I am not bothered that she had X with other men. I would be bothered that X with other men was filmed and sent out to the world. Apparently she started so she'd have extra money to put towards college, and only did solo stuff and stuff with other women. This all still bothered me greatly. But so much less than if she had done adult videos with a bunch of men. I told her outright my feelings. She told me that it was in the past, and she was hurt that I was bothered by it. We had a very long discussion, and she asked if I felt like I needed space from her. I asked her again if she made any videos with men. She said no, and I said I need time to get past it. She then accused me of being sexist. She was livid that I'd leave her if she cammed with men but not if she did with women. She then went on the offensive, saying it's ducked up that I care about this since it stopped almost a year before we started dating. We've been arguing about this for 2 days, and I just want to forget about it, but she won't let me. What do I do? TLDR. My girlfriend did adult videos a year before we started dating. How do I get over this? I can see why she is seeing it as sexist. Her having X with anyone, no matter their gender, should get the same reaction from you. I guess at the end of the day, if you want to be weird about her doing chem work, that's entirely your choice, and I can't make judgments about that. But it's sexist that you seem to only think her having X is a problem if it's with men. I'd also advise you really think about why it is you have a problem. Is it X work in general you dislike? Do you respect her any less now you know? Is it that you don't like the idea of other people having seen her so intimately? Do you feel like she's going to compare your X life to things she did alone? You need to really work through some feelings here before you keep digging yourself a hole, and it becomes irreparable. Can you clarify your feelings on the matter, and why you're upset about the filming, and the videos being out in the world? I think this might help in guiding you to come to terms with it. I'm not upset about filming, it's just not my thing. If she had made X tapes with previous boyfriends, I really wouldn't care, unless they got uploaded to some lewd site. It's the broadcasting and dispensing of videos where she was intimate with herself or someone else. Redoing my comment here. Do you not feel special to her because other people are able to see her having X and being undressed without being in a relationship with her? If so, you're saying you don't see her as a person, but a product to be consumed by others. There are other ways to be made to feel special outside of having X with someone. You have a relationship with her that is more than what anyone else will ever get from seeing her videos. Moving on to your second issue, being that she says you're sexist because of the hypothetical filming with men thing. Have you stopped to think that maybe your girlfriend is bisexual? That she legitimately finds other women attractive? By saying you wouldn't be okay with her filming with men but are okay with women, you are invalidating her experiences and feelings with other women. Women are and should be as much competition to you as men to someone who has been with another woman. That's the funny thing, that a lot of straight men don't understand a relationship and X between two women, even if one of them has been only with men in the past, are just as real experiences for their own pleasure as they are if they were happening with men. It's very outdated to think X isn't X because it's with the same gender. Third story. Boyfriend paying for chem girls. I, 20 female, have been with my boyfriend, 23 male, for just over a year now, and I found out 2 weeks ago that he's been watching and paying for chem girls. I had previously asked him if he watched them, and he said no. He was going through his emails one day, and I was sat next to him, and saw the receipt from it. I checked his phone when he went for a shower, and saw all the deleted receipts from times he'd paid for them. I asked him about it, and he said that he'd been watching them for a few years now, and that he didn't tell me because he didn't think it would be something I'd want to know. I told him how uncomfortable it made me feel that he was watching them, and so he said he'd stop. I asked him if he was still watching them the other night, and he said no. I found out he was lying and had paid for them that night. I told him I knew he was lying to me, but he said he didn't understand why it was such a big deal because chem girls are just lewd content to him. It's not lewd content to me though. It feels more intimate and personal than just lewd content, but I don't know how to explain that to him properly. He kept apologizing and said he was sorry for hurting my feelings, and that he didn't know why he was and he didn't want to. Normally in his previous relationships, when stuff got hard and there was problems, he'd just end it, but he doesn't want to with me because he can really see us having a future together. I really don't want to break up with him, and want to make this relationship work, but I don't know what to do now. Too long, didn't read. Boyfriend paid for chem girls. Said he would stop when I said I was uncomfortable with it, but lied and still paid for them. Now I don't know what to do. He didn't tell me because he didn't think it would be something I'd want to know. I asked him if he was still watching them the other night, and he said no. I found out he was lying and had paid for them that night. It doesn't matter if he doesn't think it's a big deal, and the same as lewd content. The lying is a huge problem, and I don't think I could ever trust someone who repeatedly lies when asked direct questions because they don't think I'll like the truth. He could have told you that he wouldn't stop, and you could have continued the conversation until you reached a point you were both happy with, or you realized the relationship wouldn't work out. Lying was the easier path. And him taking it tells you everything you need to know about this dude. You deserve better. Leave him so he can jerk off to camgirls to his heart's content, while you find someone who won't just tell you whatever they think you want to hear. Precisely. Exactly what I was gonna say. Forget the lewd content. He's lying about making that choice in the first place. If he's willing to lie about that, he may lie about other things, which is a large red flag for me. Fourth story. Fiancé won't stop messaging camgirls. Am I overreacting? I just really need some clarity on this. So a couple years ago I borrowed my then boyfriend's phone to write an email that couldn't wait for my phone to charge. I asked him first and he said okay, and when I went to Gmail, I discovered that he had a separate account that he was using to log into a chem website, and he had been chatting with a bunch of the girls. I got really upset. Confronted him. And he said he would stop. Well, you all see where this is going. I was using his computer a few months ago, and he was still doing it. Confronted him again. He said that he had stopped for many months after I asked him to, but that he slowly started using it again. I explained very clearly that what I didn't like was that he was having conversations with these girls. In some cases using the exact same language he uses when he's talking to me. I told him it was hurtful, and it felt like cheating. Now I don't trust him. I went on his computer again and sure enough, he's still on those websites, chatting with these other women. Obviously I need to either decide that this is something I can live with and let it go, or break up with him. I just want some outside perspective. Is this just not that big a deal? Is this just how guys use lewd content these days? That sentence made me sound about 80 years old, but whatever. Please just help. I moved to a new country to be with him, and I am just in a big mess if I have to end this relationship. So I want to think this through. Too long didn't read. Fiancé won't stop messaging camgirls despite my repeated requests for him to stop. I would consider that cheating personally. There's a difference between watching and interacting. I am a fan of adult videos, but this is a line. It's one thing to watch mass-produced and distributed content, but to engage another person on an interpersonal level makes it too real. And the other problem here is him saying he would do one thing and then doing the opposite. So he lies to placate your feelings and also builds relationships with other women. That would be two reasonable deal breakers right there. Absolutely. Watching camgirls is one thing. Interacting is hugely inappropriate if you're in a relationship. If he had stopped after the initial discussion, I wouldn't have considered it cheating, but if it's something involving another person, and you have to hide it from your partner, it's probably cheating. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.